All right, let's dive in. Today, we're taking a deep dive into the life of Grace Kelly.
Sounds fascinating.
It is. And get this, we're going to be pulling straight from her Wikipedia page.
Oh, wow, straight from the source.
Exactly. So we'll be exploring all the twists and turns, her early years, her time in Hollywood, becoming a huge star, and then, boom, she decides to leave it all behind to become Princess of Monaco.
What a story.
I know, right? What could make someone at the height of their career just walk away like that? Well, that's what we're here to uncover.
The big question.
Exactly. And, it's not just about fame and royalty. It's about the choices we make and the impact we have. Ready to get started.
Absolutely, let's jump in.
All right, so rewind back to the beginning. Grace Kelly was born in Philadelphia.
Philadelphia. Not exactly the first place you think of for Hollywood stars, right?
Right, but here's the thing. Her family was far from ordinary.
Oh, I bet.
You see, her father, John B. Kelly Sr., was kind of a big deal.
Okay, tell me more.
Okay, so he was an Olympic gold medalist in rowing.
Wow. Athletic genes right there.
And then he built a successful construction company.
Okay, so success runs in the family.
And get this, he even almost became the mayor of Philadelphia.
Wow, so she was surrounded by ambition right from the start.
Exactly. So you can see this wasn't your average upbringing.
No kidding. It sounds like she was raised in a world where achieving big things was just, well, expected.
And she definitely inherited that drive. You won't believe this. She was rejected from Bennington College because her math scores were too low.
Bennington, that's a top school. Hard to imagine Grace Kelly not making the cut.
I know, right? But it shows you she had other strengths.
She must have.
But instead of letting that setback hold her back, she decided to go after her true passion, acting.
Ah, so that's how it all began. But wasn't her father totally against it?
He was. He thought acting was, well, let's just say he didn't see it as a suitable profession for his daughter. Apparently, he even said it was a step above streetwalker.
Oh my goodness, what a statement. Talk about societal pressure.
And that's just a glimpse into the challenges she faced. But she was determined. She moved to New York City to chase her dreams.
Classic story.
Totally. And to make ends meet, she took modeling jobs and even appeared in commercials.
Commercials? Wow, even the future Princess Grace had to start somewhere.
Right. And we're not talking glamorous ads either. One of her early gigs was for, wait for it, bug spray.
Bug spray. That's hilarious. It's kind of endearing, though. It shows that even the biggest stars had humble beginnings.
Totally. But her talent couldn't be hidden forever. By 19, she won a prestigious award for Most Promising Personality on Broadway.
Most promising personality. What does that even mean?
Right. I'm not quite sure what all went into it, but it seems like she had that it factor even then.
I bet. Like, it wasn't just about acting talent, but also her presence, her charisma.
Yeah, that's certain something that draws you in.
And then, boom, her breakout role.
Exactly. She starred in High Noon with Gary Cooper, a classic Western film.
High Noon. Now, that's a legendary film.
It really is, and to think she was only 22 at the time, she landed a role in one of the greatest films ever made.
And her career just takes off from there. Right?
Oh, yeah. But before we get to that, there's this incredible story about how she got noticed by John Ford, the famous director.
John Ford, the guy behind all those classic Westerns.
The one and only. He saw her screen test and was blown away. He immediately signed her to a 7-year contract.
Wow. Talk about validation. To have someone like John Ford believe in your talent like that.
It must have been a huge confidence boost. So from there, her career really did take off. In 1953, she starred in Macombo, filmed in Africa with Clark Gable and Ava Gardner.
Clark Gable and Ava Gardner. That's like peak Hollywood glamour right there.
I know, right? Can you imagine her on set?
We're surrounded by legends.
And her performance in Macombo earned her a Golden Globe Award.
See, I told you, her career took off. And I bet that wasn't the only award she won, right?
You're right. She was even nominated for an Oscar.
For Macombo.
Nope. She actually won the Academy Award for Best Actress for a different film, The Country Girl, in 1954.
Hold on. She won an Oscar. Beating out Judy Garland.
Yep. The peak of her career. And you know what she said in her acceptance speech?
I can only imagine. Probably something long and emotional.
Nope. She just said, "The thrill of this moment keeps me from saying what I really feel. I can only say thank you with all my heart to all who made this possible for me. Thank you."
That's it. That's so Grace Kelly, though, isn't it? Short, sweet, to the point.
Exactly. And now we can't forget her collaborations with Alfred Hitchcock.
Oh, yes. The master of suspense.
He was completely smitten with her. She starred in 3 of his films, Dial M for Murder, Rear Window, and To Catch a Thief.
And those films, especially Rear Window, really showcase a different side of her talent.
Yes, Rear Window's a classic. She plays Lisa Fremont, this incredibly stylish socialite, and her outfits in that film, just stunning.
Right. And remember, Hitchcock was known for his attention to detail, especially when it came to how his leading ladies dressed.
So he must have loved working with Grace Kelly.
Oh, absolutely. But here's the thing. It was during the filming of To Catch a Thief in the French Riviera that her life takes an unexpected turn.
Enter Prince Rainier.
The fairy tale romance.
Exactly. But before we jump into all that, I think we need to pause and really let this sink in. Here she is, this huge movie star at the absolute peak of her career.
And she walks away from it all.
Exactly.
It's hard to fathom, really. I mean, she had it all. Fame, fortune, critical acclaim.
Yeah, you wonder what was going through her mind. What could possibly make her give it all up?
Well, we have to remember the context. Hollywood in the 1950s was a different world.
Different how?
The pressure, the scrutiny, the constant media attention, it was intense.
Oh, I bet. And we think the paparazzi are bad today.
It was a different kind of pressure back then. This was before social media, so the press had even more power to shape public perception.
Right, so what did they make of Grace Kelly?
Well, often she was portrayed as this icy blonde, this untouchable beauty.
Sort of a stereotype.
Exactly. They reduced her to just her looks. But her films, some of them at least, hinted at a more complex personality.
Yeah, I mean, she couldn't have been just a pretty face, right?
Right. Take Rear Window, for instance. Yeah, she's stunning in that film. But her character, Lisa Fremont, she's so much more than that. She's intelligent, resourceful, even a bit daring.
Oh yeah, she's the one who sneaks into the suspect's apartment.
Exactly. She's not just a passive observer. She's actively involved in solving the mystery.
So she was taking on roles that showed more depth?
Yes, some of them. But even with all the success, it seems like a part of her longed for something more, something beyond the glitz and glamour of Hollywood.
It makes you wonder, was she maybe feeling a little bit stifled?
It's possible. Maybe she was tired of the roles she was being offered, or maybe she craved a more private life away from the cameras.
A simpler life, maybe.
Perhaps. And then she meets Prince Rainier,
And boom, everything changes.
right? Their meeting at the Cannes Film Festival in 1955 was a huge media event. Imagine this Hollywood starlet at the top of her game meeting a real-life prince.
Sounds like something out of a movie.
It was a media's frenzy. Everyone was captivated by this fairy tale romance.
But, fairy tales aren't always what they seem.
That's true. This wasn't just a whirlwind romance. This was a life-altering decision.
She was giving up everything.
Exactly. Her career, her independence, her life in America. Becoming Princess Grace meant embracing a whole new world, a new country, a new culture, new responsibilities.
It must have been a difficult decision.
Oh, I'm sure it was. And it wasn't all smooth sailing. The people of Monaco, they weren't immediately accepting of this Hollywood actress becoming their princess. She had to work hard to earn their respect.
So it wasn't just stepping into a life of luxury.
Not at all. It was a demanding role. She had to learn French, understand Monegasque culture, and really dedicate herself to her new country.
Wow, so she really had to prove herself.
She did. And she rose to the challenge. She became involved in philanthropy, became the president of the Red Cross of Monaco, a patron of numerous organizations.
So she was really committed to making a difference.
She was. She used her platform to advocate for children's rights, even founded an organization called Aide Mondiale, which is still active today.
It's amazing how she was able to transition from Hollywood star to respected princess. Like, she really found a new purpose.
Yes, it seems like she was driven by a genuine desire to help others. And it wasn't just about big gestures. There are stories about her personal kindness, her warmth, her ability to connect with people from all walks of life.
So she wasn't just a distant figurehead.
No, not at all. And her efforts really resonated with people. She became a beloved figure, both in Monaco and internationally.
She earned that respect, but you have to wonder, did she ever miss acting?
Well, there's a story that Hitchcock actually offered her a role after she became a princess.
Really? Which film?
It was Marnie in 1964. Do you imagine Princess Grace back on the big screen?
That would have been huge.
It would have been, but it didn't happen. It said that Prince Rainier wasn't keen on the idea, and ultimately he declined the offer.
Wow, that's a big what if. Do you think she regretted it?
It's hard to say. Maybe she found a different kind of fulfillment in her role as princess.
It's fascinating to think about, isn't it? The path's not taken.
It is. And then, of course, there's the tragic end to her story.
Her death in 1982. It's still hard to believe.
A car accident at just 52 years old. It was a devastating loss.
Such a sudden end to such an extraordinary life. But even in death, her legacy continues to inspire.
Absolutely. She's still remembered as a style icon, a philanthropist, a devoted mother. Her impact goes far beyond her films or her royal title.
It's true, there's something about her that continues to captivate people even decades later. Why do you think that is?
Well, I think it's a combination of things. The Hollywood glamour, the fairy tale romance, the tragic ending. But it's also about who she was as a person. Her elegance, her dignity, her kindness. She had this aura about her that transcended any particular role or title.
And she seems so genuine.
Yes, there are so many stories about her warmth, her generosity, her down-to-earth nature. She never let fame or royalty go to her head.
She remained grounded.
Exactly. And I think that's what resonates with people. In a world that often seems obsessed with superficiality, she represents something deeper, something more enduring. Authenticity, kindness, a commitment to making the world a better place.
So she really left her mark. But I think it's time we move on to the specifics of her legacy. What are some of the tangible ways her impact is still felt today?
Well, I think fashion's a good place to start. I mean, even today, she's considered a style icon.
Yeah, totally. And it's not just about the glamorous gowns and diamonds, although those were definitely stunning.
Right. There was a real simplicity to her style, too.
Like those casual photos of her, just jeans and a t-shirt, but somehow she makes it look so chic.
Exactly. Classic silhouettes, high-quality fabrics. She understood that less is often more. And speaking of classic, we can't forget about the Hermes Kelly bag.
Ah, yes, the bag that's now a legend. But it's funny, the story behind it is almost accidental, right?
Totally. She was using it to shield her pregnancy from the paparazzi. I don't think she was making a fashion statement.
Yeah, just a practical move that turned into an iconic fashion moment.
Exactly. But her legacy goes way beyond just fashion, of course. There's the Princess Grace Foundation.
Oh, right, the one she started to support upcoming artists.
Yes, in theater, dance, and film, it shows how much she valued the arts.
And it's still going strong today, but her impact goes even further, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Her humanitarian work was incredible. The Red Cross, a Maid Mondiale, all the work she did for children.
She really used her position to make a difference. And it wasn't just about the big organizations either. There are all these stories about her personal kindness, you know?
Yes, exactly. She was known for her warmth and her ability to connect with people no matter who they were.
I love those stories about how she would host American-themed weeks in Monaco with things like baseball games and ice cream socials.
It shows a different side of her, doesn't it? A bit more playful, maybe even a little bit mysterious.
Totally. It made her feel more relatable, you know, not just some distant royal figure.
Exactly. She broke down those barriers. And it's no wonder she was so loved by the people of Monaco.
It's clear that Grace Kelly was so much more than just a pretty face or a Hollywood starlet, or even a princess for that matter.
She was a complex and fascinating woman who lived a truly remarkable life.
And it's been amazing to explore her story with you today, to go beyond the headlines and the stereotypes and discover the woman behind the icon.
It's been a journey, and it makes you think, what is it about her that still resonates with us today?
Well, for me, it's her resilience. She faced some pretty tough challenges in her life, but she never gave up. She always found a way to move forward, to grow, to reinvent herself.
And she did it all with such grace and dignity.
And kindness, let's not forget that. She never lost sight of the importance of helping others. It's a powerful reminder that we all have the potential to make a difference in the world, no matter who we are or where we come from.
So if you're listening and you're feeling inspired, I encourage you to learn more about Grace Kelly. Watch her films, read about her life, discover what resonates with you.
Yeah, and maybe, just maybe, you'll find yourself inspired to embrace your own unique path, to make your own mark on the world.
Tell us what you think about this episode. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.